What is going on, guys? Joey Franzo here at Flex Training Systems. Crazy times, crazy times. Today we are going to speculate on whether or not the USAPL will leave the IPF. For those of you that don't know, there was a post on the USA Powerlifting page right here. Basically just saying, this is the second post that they've done, basically just saying that the IPF is like imposing a bunch of rules, and it's just making it contradicts the USAPL's sort of theme or narrative or conviction, or basically what they're all about. It is the mission of USA Powerlifting to provide powerlifting competition of uniform high quality, which is drug tested and available to all athletes who meet the criteria for membership throughout the United States. Our mission and commitment to drug-free powerlifting has not changed, despite all the changes. If you guys want to check, just hit up USA Powerlifting on Instagram, and they kind of break it down there. Now, they say that there's two sides to every story, okay? And this is whenever somebody comes out and says something like, hey, I think X needs to change, or this is happening to us, or whatever, this is all coming from USA Powerlifting. I would love for someone from the IPF to look at what is displayed and provide their point of view. Because whenever there are two sides, right, and you only get the one side, that one side kind of gets to say like, hey guys, like they can control the narrative. There's nobody else questioning them. Right now, someone does bring something into question. I'm not saying that what they're saying isn't true. I'm just saying we're only hearing one side and we're not hearing anything from the other side, which is the IPF. So what does the IPF have to say about all this, right? Like, why don't they make a post? Why don't they say something? So it's just, I would love to hear the other side. Basically, there's new bylaws that are just making the IPF gain a lot of control over federations that used to be autonomous, I guess, right? Nations can no longer be autonomous. I guess there's going to be a bunch of fines. Fines imposed if you break any rules. What the heck does that even mean? And then I guess it's an IPF anti-doping violation if you test. I don't know if this line says that specifically, but if you test too much at the local level, I guess that's against the IPF, which makes no sense. My argument, my whole thing would be like, if the more you test, the more people you're going to catch, the more people that fail. That looks bad if you're trying to market the IPF to anything. If you want to make it to the Olympics and you say, hey, look at all these people that popped. You know what I mean? That could be one of two ways. One, oh, your sport's not clean. Or two, oh, good, you guys are doing, your due diligence. You guys are trying really hard to catch a bunch of people. That's great. Now I'm going to quickly go through this. You guys can look at it yourself. There's no longer testing at the local level. So, I mean, obviously, if there's no testing at the local level, which, like, I start to question, and they did respond to me. I was like, well, what about other federations? Do they test at the local level? And their argument was, we're a million times bigger, so it's very difficult for us to test 10% when we have so many people. It costs like $1 million or something, right? No variance of non-IPF approved equipment at the local level. So meaning that if this goes through, or what the IPF wants is that even at locals you have to wear IPF approved equipment, and that's hard for people that sometimes can't afford it. Like, if you can't buy the most expensive stuff, what are you gonna do, right? No longer allowing religious attire. That's weird. I don't know why that's a thing. No longer able to make exemptions for adaptive or para athletes. That's unfortunate. No longer able to have the youth division. I don't even know who that hurts or why that bothers anyone. No longer able to hold deadlift only or squat events. Squat events are kind of a meme, but deadlift only has. I mean, I started out in USPA, and that was always a thing. That was actually a huge thing. Like, there are people that really only do deadlift only. So, no longer have youth, teenage, master 5-year records. Now this, as you guys know, there's teen nationals coming up, and my boys want to go do that one. And I was gonna go out there, and we were just gonna have fun, have an easy meet, and take some records. So I'm just like, I was very confused because I'm like, okay, if there's no teenage records, what are we doing? How are we doing this meet? You know what I mean? They did respond to me, and they said that there's nothing changing right now. which is good. If you guys have Facebook, they post it on there, and there's a little bit more clarity, which I am going to touch on in a minute. And then if you guys go through it, they just kind of, they just kind of like back their position. There's a billion comments on this, people just going back and forth. A lot of division, like people. It seems like the majority of people are for USAPL leaving. Now, the most interesting thing, if you go to their story. Hold on, Russ. Where did you get that from, brother? That's my man. He probably got it from Twitter like I did. That's hilarious. that is so hilarious. I gotta hit him up. Did they take it down? Brothers, they took it down. I was gonna read something to you guys. Nah, I can find it. Don't worry. I have receipts, but I gotta go into my DMs, which you guys can't see. So I'm gonna pull this up. Let me find it. Let me find it for research. Here we go. Sorry guys. I am not doing this the most efficient that I can. Okay, here it is. Here it is, boys. Shit. How do I could just read it to you. I can't show it. Okay. Okay, so this was a post that was deleted from USA Powerlifting. It's out there. It's in my story right now. You guys can find it. It says, I think a clear majority of us believe it's time for the USAPL to part ways with the IPF. This sport, and particularly our federation, has so much potential for bigger and better things. Okay, my ears are open. Bigger and better things while keeping a true drug-tested playing field that then allow the IPF. Then the IPF will allow. Now, on top of that, they want us to abide by this, which is what they put in their story. The Fed is saying that the clear majority of us believe it's time for the USAPL to part ways from the IPF. Now, if the IPF is petty, if the IPF is Dana White, you're cut. You're on up out of here. You guys got to think about that. You're getting up, and you're getting on up out of here. You're gonna just we gotta find someone else. You know what I mean? That's the thing, and that's what the Fed is saying. Okay, it's all public. You guys can all go see this. I put speculation down there for liability purposes, but it's literally public stuff. Okay, that's what the Federation is saying. The rhetoric around everything is really like, we're about to dip. We're not happy. You guys are imposing these things on us. Now, I've heard some conspiracies like, yo, the USAPL has been wanting to leave. This is something that they want to do, and that's why they're running with this. I mean, if what they're saying is true, my question is, how do other feds do it? And two, why doesn't the IPF want to sit down with USAPL and just say, hey, let's talk about this. You guys are a big chunk of us. Why don't we work something out that... in my brain, I'm just like, why don't they just let us test at the local level however we do? If you guys don't require it, just let us do what we're doing, right? Let us just test at the local level, and then if you want our expensive water test at the high level meets, fine. I don't understand like why that's a problem. It doesn't hurt anyone. If anything, it helps keeps things safe and clean. So it's just weird to me. It's weird to me that the higher ups would be like, nah, we don't want you to do more testing. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. So when is this happening? Well, I'm hearing, let me see if I can find that too. I'm hearing here, let me see. I'll just read it to you guys. Got to keep it off screen. So this was a post in the USA Powerlifting Facebook page. The USA Powerlifting voted against the new constitution. I guess that's what they posted. As of today, is my understanding that USA Powerlifting is running business as usual and not in compliance, meaning nothing is changing for us right now. If you're doing locals, if you're doing TNATs, whatever, absolutely nothing is changing. We have a national governing board comprised of voting members, executive committee, state chairs, athlete representatives. They meet every year. I believe it's around Raw Nationals time. Raw Nationals time. And this will most likely come up for a vote to stay in the IPF or leave and find something else. What else is there? That's what I want to know. We'll still be drug testing 10% of all lifters at local meets until we are told differently. We value a clean platform and all our lifters from local to elite level. So sometime, I'm assuming around nationals, they're going to get together with these people and vote on this. Okay? Now, if we split, what are the pros? The pros, I would like to think there would be less money going towards whatever the IPF needs us to pay for. I mean, you don't have to pay for IPF approved equipment, right? So you can just use that money towards other things. You know what I'm saying? Which I would hope that the USAPL could create their own ecosystem that supported its, current members, where we could operate on a national level and we need to have, if anyone out there is listening, if anyone in USAPL or running meets or whatever is listening, if you want to be able to break, in my opinion, if we're gonna break off and be fine, we need to have locals, regionals, nationals. Okay, the more money you can add to those things for prizing, the better. And then aside from that, we need from doing those 3 meets, you can break off and do Arnold, you can break off and do exhibition, expo meet, lots of money on the line, super prestigious, best lifters, have to have a super high total. There's no reason we can't run our own, if you guys remember Raw Unity back in the day, or our own just best of the best drug-free lifters, whatever. We can do so many. The sky is the limit. I believe it could work, right? USAPL could break off and it could work. Obviously that would probably we'd probably get suspensions, because the IPF has that rule where if you do a national meet, if you do if you compete in other federations, you get in trouble, right? Hey, but that might allow people to switch between USPA and USAPL. That could be a potential pro. There's a lot of things that could be good from this for us, which kind of gets me excited. The cons are, and this is the thing, this goes for beginning and top lifters, right? It kind of goes into the cons. Now, Sheffield is a massive competition that was going to be attached to Worlds. We wouldn't be able to participate in that, right? Unless SBD just did their own invitational. Work though. That wouldn't work. I think SBD is going to stick with whoever makes them the most money, which is probably the IPF. And there's a lot of SBD sponsored athletes that are probably going to have to decide between keeping that SBD sponsorship and then competing, in USAPL. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe somehow they can be sponsored by SBD and compete in whatever fed they want. I know that SBD is giving out money for USPA or something like that. And I just don't know what's going to happen. My thought process is, if we take let's say, Taylor, Amanda, Ray, freaking, I don't know, whoever all the SBD people are, and they say, hey guys, we gotta, we want to keep getting, whatever we're getting from SBD, so we're gonna stay with them, and they all were to break off, and the IPF were to create some new federation in the United States, then would their followers follow them? Because you could argue that a lot of the super strong lifters have great influence because they have a lot of followers. Obviously they're the best. What are they going to do? A lot of people are going to be conflicted. We're going to have 2 sides, right? So it's just what's going to happen? That's a little bit dicey. I think if USAPL can come out right, the timing is so important. If when everything breaks up, which it seems like that's what they want. I mean, who knows? The vote is they're gonna have to vote on it. But if that happens, there needs to be the number one question is gonna be, okay, what do we get to look forward to? What is gonna be our next level? What is the thing that we're gonna try to aspire to get into? You know what I mean? Do you make nationals super exclusive and this crazy high pinnacle meet that everybody wants to try to qualify for? Do you add a new money meet after that called the American powerlifting Omega Cash Cup or something, and it's just like a gazillion dollars for first place. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have incentives for people that creates hyper competition, just super competition, because the reward is just so great, right? My fear was that for the beginner lifters, the lifters that are just starting out, USAPL gives them like a nice playground to sort of just practice in, to develop, go after those teen records, go after those junior records, and that, you know what I mean? Because it gives you something to work towards while you're young. And then, dang, I need some caffeine. And then, once you're more developed, you can move up into the open, and then you can kind of deal with things like that. So it's just like, I don't want that to go away. And if IPF has their way and we really don't test at the local level, it's just not going to be fun for my kids that want to go in and take some records when you have like a trend out 20-year-old that doesn't care about living past a certain age, you know what I mean, that just blasting whatever, and he just takes all the records. So, by the way, I have friends that are like not natty, and I love them, so don't think that I hate them. I started out in USPA, for those wondering. And to be honest, all of this stuff did, like, it was definitely simpler back in the day. It was definitely simpler times. It's very unfortunate that things have grown this way. These are some questions that I have. What would lead to more growth? What is best for us? I don't know. I can't see the future. I would like to think that USAPL would continue to be as marketable as possible, grow the sport, and perhaps lead to other things. I have no idea. Maybe they have something in the works. Maybe we link up with World Powerlifting. I have no idea. IPF can replace USAPL. Maybe USAPL can replace IPF. I have no idea. But we got to do something. And there's just a lot of confusion and worry. And just talking to some of my lifters, it just sucks that like we went through COVID and everything was so uncertain, and now that COVID is going away and we're getting back to competing, now we don't even know we don't even know what's gonna happen to our federation. Is there gonna be worlds? It was supposed to be locals, regionals, nationals, worlds, Sheffield, and then you have Arnold, which is like in between nationals and Sheffield. My God, I'm nuts! And Sheffield is going to be nuts, man. Like, what if I want to go coach at Sheffield? Do I get banned from USAPL? You know what I mean? It's like, or what if I coach at USAPL? Do I get banned from, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so, it's dumb that we have to choose. Like, we're all lifting. We're all lifters. Like, there has to be a way to work it out. And me being the person that I am, I'm like, yo, IPF Overlord, USAPL Overlord, why don't you guys meet up? You know what I'm saying? Go to Vegas, have a nice dinner. You know what I'm saying? Talk it out. What do you guys need? What do you need from us? What do we need from you? Whatever. Almighty push! You know what I'm saying? If IPF has their way, John Hack could probably come compete at locals. Right? I don't know. I don't know how that works. They don't want us to test at locals. Imagine just annihilating all the records. Okay, so will USAPL be like the Australian Fed? So for those of you that don't know, I forget what it's called, Oceania Powerlifting or Australian something. It was like a green, I think they were green and yellow, or green and white. I remember them at Worlds, and they were pretty big. They had a lot of lifters. Okay. And I guess they got into it with the IPF, and they ended up breaking off. And I remember for a good amount of time, I really gotta stop. They broke off, and there was just a period where like they didn't have anywhere to lift. I think they just now established an Australian federation that is linked to the IPF. So it's going to be interesting. Is that new Australian federation just going to die, or are the lifters, you know what I mean? Like, it all depends how things are managed. But I would be very certain that the IPF would try to replace USAPL. I don't know if they ever could. USAPL just has like such a relationship with its not only the lifters but the staff and the coaches and everything. In my opinion, the way that they're talking, it sounds like they got something in store for us, something that we can all look forward to. But they can't say anything because they got to handle this hurdle first. In conclusion, at the end of the day, and I put this in my story, I will always direct you guys and I will always direct my lifters where I think you should lift best. If I think, I have some people that just do USPA just because they're just starting out and they just want to have fun. 24-hour weigh-in, whatever. Do that. I have people that I'm like, no, you're a top level world class lifter. You need to go to worlds and compete at the highest level. I have other lifters that it doesn't matter where they compete. You know what I mean? So it's just like whatever is the incentive for them or best place for them, I will tell them. So I know it can be scary. I know it's like, well, man, like what's going to happen in the future? At the bare minimum, I feel like our nationals will be maintained. Everything that's going on within the national hierarchy chain is going to be, I don't think that's going to change. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I've been to multiple worlds. I've been to like 5 Arnolds. 2015, no, 2016, 2017, 2020. Damn, there was a 2020 Arnold. That's crazy. 5 Arnolds, okay? Multiple worlds, a billion nationals. I will tell you this, Raw Nationals is unbelievably lit. The only thing that comes remotely close, I would imagine, so Arnold is great. Arnold is super lit also. I love the Arnold. It's my favorite meet to compete at. Nationals is just crazy competitive. Everybody's there. There's very few meets that are better than that. Worlds is amazing too, but it's different because it's like, you're on a business trip. Wow. The whole time, no one could tell me. I spelled that wrong. It's a business trip. You go there, you're in a foreign, hostile environment, you handle business, and you leave. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like you're just seeing all the homies that get nationals. The LA Fit Expo, it was ran by USPA back in the day that I did. That was extremely lit because you're in a venue as the expo's happening, and there's just a sea of people. There's just an astronomical amount of people in front of you, and you're on an elevated platform, and you're just looking out at everyone, and you're like, I scream like a big baby when I'm on the platform back in the day. Those were good times. There's no reason USAPL can't do stuff like that. I would love for them to do stuff like that. I would cry tears of happiness if they did stuff like that. So just keep doing the production level of the Arnold, collegiates, all that. Just take it into expos and blow things up. I would love that. But I don't know, man. It's crazy because like we built a relationship with USAPL over all these years, and I would hate to be like, USAPL is amazing, but I got this lifter that can really benefit from what they can gain competing somewhere else. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's gonna happen. It seems like we're gonna split. That's what they said, not me. I got the post right here. They just said it seems like the majority is people want to dip, and I don't know what's gonna happen. It's got to be voted on, but I will keep you guys posted with everything that's going on. I'm gonna keep you guys posted. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm in a way it's kind of sad, but at the same time I'm all for whatever this right here, whatever leads to more growth. At the end of the day, we just want to lift, we want to get stronger, we want to compete. If we could win some money doing that, that's great. I enjoy the process of taking someone from a larvae or chick or small joey kangaroo and growing them over time into one. Have you guys seen, let me find it. You know what I'm saying? You turn this guy right here. Brother, I'm gonna smash anyone that gets in my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the biceps on this guy. Why are we looking at jacked kangaroos? You guys get what I'm saying. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Hashtag just want to lift. Or hashtag, you could say hashtag lead the IPF if that's what you feel. You guys do whatever you want in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.